We're going to call the meeting to order. Please cut your cell phones silent and vibrate. Prayer is going to be given by Supervisor Josh Todd. Please stand for the prayer and pledge.
For what it will be worth. All right, let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father God, we thank you for this day, God. We thank you for all the many blessings that you so humbly give us each and every day. Father, I ask that any decisions that this board makes, that we turn to you for that guidance, and not to a man, Father, that only you know what we need to do. Father, be with our men and women who are overseas and here at home, protecting what we have, God. Just thank you for them. Thank you for our first responders, our sheriff's department, Father. Be with them as they go out and do their job. Father, we thank you for everything. Again, we love you, but we are so glad that you loved us first. In your holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Todd. We have approval for agenda and even date.
So move.
Is there a second? All right, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, we go to Ms. Carolyn Mooney, our Chancellor Clerk.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
I have one item, and that is I need board approval for the claims docket for the month of September and authorize the clerk to issue the warrants.
So move.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right. Carolyn.
I'm sorry.
All right, we will go to Ms. Cheryl Polk, our financial analyst.
All right, number one is I need approval to amend the 2019 budget to actual at 9/30/19.
So move.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, number two, I need approval to advance $20,000 from the general fund to the Lauderdale County NAS Encroachment Fund 190 until reimbursement is received from the U.S. Navy.
So move.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Ready?
Mr. President, first, notice on the agenda, didn't catch it earlier, but we don't have the public hearing on there, so we need to consider a motion to amend the agenda to include the public hearing, which is set for 9 o'clock this morning on the budget.
So move. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right, and this time, Mr. President, we do have set at 9 o'clock a public hearing on the budget where you consider the proposed tax levies. So at this time, recommend that you consider a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right,
All right.
budget presentation.
It's the same as last time.
And of course, while she's taking her position, we've been through this before, but, we had some notice issues, so,
What are we doing?
Personal property, assessed value is on the real property, and $4 million for property, and 24. We have assessed value. Revenues, tax revenues, percent, all the other revenues, 41%. These percentages are a little bit different from 19, due to, you see the rule there, the premium charges, because we now have our health insurance as self-insured, and differently, so the premium charges increase in revenue, so that was kind of like those percentages different from the previous year. That's the only change. As you'll see, we have assessed county valuation grew by 1.88% year. The county is projecting capital tax revenue of $34 million. Government
Mr. President, would also at this point in time, make a note to include in the minutes the proof of publication from the Meridian Star regarding the notice that was published twice as required by law in the Meridian Star. At this point in time, ask if there's any person who would like to come forward and address the board regarding the budget or the proposed tax levies. Is there any person who would like to come forward and address the board regarding the proposed budget or tax levies? Mr. President, seeing no move it, seeing no one present, except for Meridian Star. No, seeing none? All right.
And the
Then-
sheriff.
And the sheriff, well,
He's us.
that's right, he's us. Then recommend you consider a motion to close public hearing.
So moved. Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right. Now, you do have a legal agenda on the back of your package. First, I'd ask you to consider a resolution authorizing Lauderdale County's participation in the MAS Debt Set-Off Program and authorizing the board president to execute the MAS Debt Set-Off Program participation agreement. Is there something? I'm sorry, I thought you had a question.
No, I'm sorry. Is there a motion? So moved. That's making a motion.
Second.
You had me worried I wasn't supposed to do
Hey,
that.
can you, give me a little more knowledge on this one, please?
Sure. Was there a second?
Yes, I second.
Okay. Yeah, this came in since our last meeting, and, I'm sorry, let me just pass this out to you guys. So there is 3. Of course, Josh may be as versed in this program as any of us, putting you on the spot, but there is, the Mississippi Association of Supervisors has been working for some time to assist counties in collecting debts by, will be something that the monies will be able to, you're taking from the debtor's state income tax returns, right? So, on the first page there's a cover memo that explains the program. The debt has to be at least 60 days delinquent. All right, there's a process that we'd have to go through to write the person to see if they have an objection to it, have an opportunity for a public hearing, and then once we go through the process, then it's something that MAS could assist us in collecting that. So there's a certification they'll do to the Department of Revenue, but ultimately it's like a good program for counties to be able to collect debts which have previously proven to be extremely difficult to do. And I'm sorry, we haven't talked about this at a work session. I presume one that you guys knew about from the MAS meetings.
I knew about it, but I like you said, we never talked about it at the work session.
And it did just come in since our last meeting, and given, where we are in the year, when you look at the timelines of the program, it's always probably best to go ahead and present that to you. So it can wait till the next meeting if you want to do that, talk about more at the work session. But I thought-
We're all aware of it, just,
That's going to benefit Lauderdale County.
I thought you'd want to consider it tonight.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right, next, ask you to consider a resolution authorizing the execution of a funding agreement between the Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors and the Lauderdale County Economic Development District, non-proton to October 1 of 2018.
So moved. Second. Any discussion?
Since I wasn't here, can you, tell me about this?
That's our documents, our funding by the EDC to the district and the EDC over the course
Same as last.
of the last year. There is, that amount, just 1 second, it's $257,600 over the course of the year. That's just with the county only funding that this year. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we had a motion, second. Any discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Next, I ask you to consider a motion to recess as the Board of Supervisors and convene as the Board of Trustees of the Lauderdale County Economic Development District.
So moved. Second. Whichever. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it.
And now, I ask you to consider a resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement with Lauderdale County regarding funds for economic development and for the execution of a funding agreement regarding economic development with the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation, non-proton to October 1, 2018.
So Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
All right, next, ask consider a motion to recess as the Board of Trustees of the Lauderdale County Economic Development District and to convene as the Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors.
So moved. Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And next, ask you to consider a resolution of the Board of Supervisors accepting, approving, and adopting the budget and tax rate for fiscal year 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. So is it legit? I mean, it's like for real?
That's it. We'll publish it one time in the Marine Star prior to September 30, 2000. Before September 30th, we're prepared to do that. It's not going to be any problem getting that done. I know that the city was meeting yesterday to approve theirs. I don't know.
They didn't approve it until Friday.
Wow. Okay.
What about Marion? Have they done theirs? I was just curious. Marion, have you heard if they've done theirs?
I don't know if they've done theirs.
I was wondering if they're.
have. I got a miller's thing from them.
Oh, well, did they stay the same? I was just curious.
But ultimately, say for the tax collector to be able to do, office to do their work, you gotta have the city and the counties and
Marion's in both school districts.
But,
That's 5 taxing entities.
so, but for this point in time, the county will have done its part.
That's the most important.
Yeah, you go.
So moved.
All right. Do we have a motion? Did you vote on that?
Yeah, we voted.
Yeah, okay.
Alice, what's your comment?
Okay, let's go ahead.
I'm sorry.
All right, that, subject to questions, that completes the legal agenda. I am going to ask you to consider the need for a quick executive session.
All right. Does any board members have anything before we determine the need for executive session?
Mr. President, I'd like to thank Cheryl for her long hours up here. I dropped in several times on Saturday and she would be here. I certainly thank you for your hard work to help me understand and do the budget.
Anybody else? Just mainly from Marine Star Recycling this Saturday, 9 to 1. Mr. Todd, right in the YouTube things up, so.
9 to 1 Saturday.
At the Ag Center. Yeah, thank you. All right, I guess is there a motion to determine the need for executive session? So moved.
President, our Vice President. The board did go into executive session, discuss personnel matter pertaining to the election commission, and no action was taken.
All right, is there anything else? All right, we need a motion to recess until October 7th. Adjourn to October 7th, 2019 at 9 a.m. So moved. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Good job there.